Hey there, mamas. Glad you're hopping on, and hi to my replay viewers. I am so glad you're sticking in here with me. And today is day 5 of our book club. And tomorrow we're actually going to start getting into more of the exercises. So I'm going to turn my camera around. And hopefully I can get this. Hey Leah, glad you hopped on here. Hey Emily, I'm not going to block you today, I promise. So if I drop my phone for a minute, I'm sorry. I always have to work with this tripod. Anyway, we are on day 5 of the Diastasis Recti book by Katie Bowman. And I'm going to start, this is going to really be the last day of me reading the book. And I've really kind of thought of, and gone back and forth about how I'm going to do this, because she's demonstrating exercises throughout, and I thought I would read about them. But I think I'm going to do, after this, I'm going to do some demonstrations, and so that you really can understand what's going on with her exercises in core and how you're going to do that, okay? So I want to be able to teach you exactly how to do it. And this gives you a list of everything's, thanks Emily, this gives you a list of all the equipment that you're going to need. And what I'm going to do for you, especially if you don't have the book, is I'm going to make a list of this and where you can get the items on my website. And it'll be at fittabulousmoms.com/scope. And I'll have all of those on there by this evening for you, so you can just kind of go through and see if you need anything or if you want anything as well. So thanks for hopping on here, guys. And let's just get started right here. Talking about, this chapter is called Your Stance and Body Neutral, okay? So you can't offset sitting all day and not using your core by doing just a handful of exercises. You are still putting a ton of non-movement into your body, which adapts to that non-movement input as much as to the movement input. So for the best results and lasting improvement, you must change the habits that led to the issues in the first place. And if you've been on here with me, you know this is Diastasis Recti by Katie Bowman. Okay, I don't know if you have diastasis, but I thank you for hopping on here. Even if you don't, this is really great to start healing your core, or strengthening your core at the very basic foundation. So this is something we all should be working on. So thanks for joining. Okay, so to make sure you're getting a little movement in each category, let's revisit my list of movement. She calls them macronutrients, and they're the big movements that she wants you to be doing every day. And that's walking, squatting and floor sitting, unsupported resting. So not using something to where you can lean on and rest on. Lifting and carrying, hanging, swinging, and climbing. And those are some things that you can do. I have a pull-up bar in my house that helps me do some of those things where you can kind of swing on and climb and hang on. So each of these categories of movement uses the core muscles in a different way, which is why moving lots of different ways is like eating a variety of foods. Each food, which she says I mean movement, nourishes your core differently. If you want a strong and dynamic core, then you've got to use it in challenging ways. But when the connection between your muscles has been compromised, as it has in the case of a DR, executing the macronutrients in a way that restores your core can be difficult. This is where the micronutrients, those are going to be the smaller movements found in corrective exercise, come into play. Okay, so you should find that the exercises and habit modifications reinforce each other. The more you do the correctives, the more easily you'll be able to stand and sit and move in a way that uses your abdomen all day long, and the more you use your muscles naturally throughout the day, the less you'll need the correctives. So if you're on here and joining me and you've missed any of the book clubs about this book, you can catch up on catch.me. That's KATCH.me/Fitabulous Moms. Okay, so you can find days 1 through 4 on there of this book, and a lot of great information on there to help strengthen your core, to help your diastasis, or even prevent diastasis. Okay, so most exercises in this book are going to require unshod feet, and this is what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. So when you're walking around, she's talking about a heeled shoe force, so a shoe that has a high heel on it. Okay, it's going to change the geometry of your ankle joint, which in turn forces a change at the knees, which forces a change at the hips, and to the tilt of your pelvis, which forces a change in the position of your rib cage, all of which alters the length and force production capability of your core muscles. So isn't that interesting how one thing, just being on heeled shoes, can do to your entire body? Because here's a picture. She wants, you need to be in more neutral, but once you put heels on, you start leaning forward. See these thighs? They're leaning. Yes, high heels. And she talks about if you want to wear heels, especially if you're healing diastasis, she wants you to be barefoot, which I walk barefoot a whole lot. I work out barefoot. She also wants you to maybe be in some minimalist shoes. Hey, hi. What are you doing, girl? I know I've been kind of gone on Periscope, but I'm back now. It's so good to see you. Are you still scoping? I haven't. I need to get back on and see everybody and visit everybody. So this week I've just been on here, just kind of dipping my toe back into it. So anyway, she talks about, good to see you too, single school. Okay, on hiatus for March. Okay, well, I'm going to be looking for you after March so I can get on and say hi. All right? So she says it's not rocket science. How you stand sets the stage for how your abdominal muscles are able to function. And what you wear on your feet affects how you stand. So wearing a shoe with any amount of heel changes the load. It changes the load to the linea alba. The linea alba is the connective tissue, remember, that runs from here to here in the middle of your abdominal muscles. Okay, and that's when that starts thinning out and getting pulled on in different directions. That's a lot of times when you're going to get the diastasis. Okay, so specifically, heels require that you adjust your pelvic tilt or rib cage position. So do you see how this rib cage, your pelvic floor on the heel, it's tucked, it starts tucking under. So we already kind of tuck under. We sit down all day, and that forces us to be in a tucked under position. So when we wear shoes that are heeled, we are tucked under. And what you need to do is learn to get in a neutral position with your pelvis. And a lot of times I tell people to untuck their butt, pretend like they have an imaginary string up on the top and just kind of untuck. That'll get a lot of us in neutral position. So that, and guess what? That even affects how we breathe with our diaphragm. It actually lets our diaphragm come down more where it's not squished. It also lengthens out our pelvic floor muscles. So our pelvic floor muscles need to be lengthened, not shortened. And so your body's going to have to get used to being in that position. So she suggests transitioning to having bare feet or minimalist shoes. I'm going to find also some minimalist shoes that I like, and I'm going to put it in the resource section of fitabulousmoms.com/scope. You can also click the link in my profile on Periscope, and I think that it'll take you to that page, okay? So there's a lot of minimalist shoes that I don't really like the look of. So I'm going to kind of start researching and on some shoes that I think that a lot of women who are in fashion would like. So she says, like a fantastic dessert at a special occasion dinner. Yeah, exactly, Emily. A heeled shoe is no biggie now and then, but because you've been wearing heels of many shapes the bulk of your life, your abdominal muscles and the tension on your linea alba have been affected. How they've been affected depends on your size and shape, what other movements you have or haven't done throughout your life, but setting all the uniqueness aside until your trunk is healed. It's best to stay out of a heel as much as possible. So, it's not just heels, but it's the positioning of your legs and your pelvis that can change the loads to the linea alba. Ballet and military training both start with lessons in positions so that certain positions can be called upon at a moment's notice. We'll start in a similar way by learning a sort of body neutral position I can refer you back to over and over again. And those are the things that this book is great. And see, it's showing you things, but I want to take you through videos to show you exactly how to do it to make sure you're doing it correctly, because it's so much easier to learn with a video. And I'm going to start that tomorrow, hopefully. And so today, that's pretty much what I was going to talk about today. And so practice what I said yesterday, moving more throughout your day. Okay, if you have a pull-up bar, you can even hang. If you have just the door frame, you can grab the door frame and kind of just lean on it and pull and hang this way. This is getting your body and your core ready to move in different ways and bigger movements. Okay, when you sit on the couch, or don't sit on the couch as much. Maybe try to sit on the floor and keep your pelvis in a neutral position, not where you're slouched or tucked under. So also try to walk barefooted a lot. Get outside in the grass and walk barefooted. I work out barefooted. You might not want to start out there, but if your workout's not real intense, you could go ahead and give it a try. That's good for you too. Just kind of keep an eye on how your feet are feeling, okay? So that is the last part of me reading the book, and then I'm going to go into the demonstration part tomorrow, which I'm really excited to get going for y'all, okay? So thanks for hopping on here, and I'm glad to see you. Glad you came on, Emily, even after the whole blocking incident yesterday. I knew I had a fear that I would block somebody one day, and I did it. So anyway, you're welcome. All right, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and it is going to be a lot of fun. You're so welcome, Kathy. Thank you for hopping on here. And y'all can also, if you want to share this with your viewers or people that you follow that you think that this might help them with their core strength, that would be great. But I will talk to you tomorrow, guys, all right? Y'all have a very blessed day. Bye-bye.